Hey everyone, and welcome back to the show. Ever feel like you're living a double life?
Interesting.
Like one minute you're grading papers and the next you're suddenly like thrust into international espionage.
Oh, wow.
That's exactly what happens to Sophie Edwards in Operation Heartbeat.
Okay.
The first book in this SEAL Team Blackout Charlie series.
I see.
So we have Sophie, who is this brilliant cryptologist
Uh-huh.
and a professor. She specializes in these ancient ciphers.
Wow.
And she gets pulled out of her quiet academic life.
Okay.
And then there's Constantine.
Yeah.
He is the leader of SEAL Team Blackout Charlie.
Right.
And they are tasked with deciphering this super mysterious code
Uh-huh.
that they found on some suspect's phone.
Okay, so like,
This code could have serious implications for national security.
I bet it's not your typical, like, solve the crossword puzzle and save the day kind of code, right?
You are telling me this code is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, wow.
As Sophie digs deeper,
Yeah.
she finds multiple layers of coded messages
Oh, my God.
hidden within these seemingly ordinary photos that are stored in the cloud.
That's so clever.
It really is.
It's like hiding in plain sight, right? But on, like, a digital level.
Exactly. And that's what makes Sophie so fascinating.
Yeah.
She's got this knack for spotting patterns and connections that everyone else just misses.
Yeah.
She actually cracked a code before this in this ancient book.
Oh, really?
And that led to this discovery of a lost artifact.
Wow.
So when the FBI just hits like a dead end with this new code,
Yeah.
they turn to her,
Makes sense.
hoping that she can unlock the secrets that it holds.
So what kind of threat are we talking about here?
Well, the initial code points to a potential terrorist plot,
Oh, gosh.
specifically threats against the federal building.
Okay.
But as Sophie kind of unravels more layers of this puzzle, she uncovers a connection to this past bombing on the West Coast
Oh, wow.
and photos with these chilling hints about future targets.
That's a lot to process. It sounds like the stakes are incredibly high right from the start.
Yeah.
How does Sophie even handle, like, being thrust into this world of covert operations?
Initially, she's very reluctant and
Yeah.
definitely feels really out of place.
Okay.
She is a creature of habit. She loves her routines.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden, she's like surrounded by these intimidating SEALs
Yeah.
being whisked away to these secret locations
Right.
and facing like life or death situations.
Wow.
It's like total culture shock.
And what about Con?
Yeah.
How does he perceive Sophie?
At first, he just sees her as this brilliant but kind of out of place academic.
Yeah.
He's a man of action,
Mm-hmm.
used to very decisive strategies and physical confrontations.
Okay.
Sophie, with her books and her theories,
Mm-hmm.
seems like a fish out of water to him.
It's like a classic clash of personalities. The analytical mind versus the tactical mind. I'm curious to see how they even learn to work together, especially with so much at stake.
Their dynamic is definitely one of the highlights of the book.
Oh, really?
It's not smooth sailing at first.
Okay.
They butt heads,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
challenge each other,
Uh-huh.
and there's a definite like undercurrent of attraction bubbling beneath the surface.
Oh, a touch of romance amidst the espionage.
It does. But before we get too caught up in their like budding relationship,
Yeah.
let's back up and talk about the suspect.
Okay.
This guy, Bayar,
Uh-huh.
he was about to board a flight to Turkey
Mm-hmm.
when he is detained at JFK.
Okay.
That's where they find the code on his phone.
Right.
The one that stumps everyone except for Sophie.
So the trail leads to Turkey.
Yep.
What happens next?
So Khan realizes that Bayar is their best lead
Okay.
and pulls Sophie out of her class.
Oh, wow.
Literally in the middle of a lecture.
I can imagine that didn't go over well with her students.
Probably not.
But I guess this abrupt departure really kind of highlights Sophie's fish out of water experience. One minute she's discussing ancient Greek ciphers.
Yeah.
The next she's on a military transport jet, like briefing a SEAL team.
It's crazy.
It raises a good point.
Mm-hmm.
We often think of code breaking as this solitary intellectual pursuit.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, it's deeply intertwined with like action and teamwork.
Right.
What makes the Blackout Charlie team so unique that they need someone like Sophie?
That is a great question.
Yeah.
They are a highly specialized unit
Okay.
known for their ability to operate in these like high-risk, covert situations.
Uh-huh.
Think hostage rescues, counterterrorism ops,
Wow.
the kind of missions that require absolute secrecy and precision.
So having a cryptologist on board makes sense.
It does.
They're dealing with encrypted communications,
Yeah.
coded messages,
Right.
and the need for like real-time decryption in the field.
Exactly. And that's where Sophie's expertise comes in.
Okay.
But back to Turkey.
Yeah.
Things get even more interesting when Con and Sophie go undercover as newlyweds. I know.
What an unexpected twist.
Right.
I bet that leads to some awkward yet entertaining situations.
Oh, you bet.
Okay.
They're using the names Jeremy and Sydney, and they're staying in this, like, luxurious hotel suite with a private pool and breathtaking views.
It sounds more like a honeymoon than a mission to uncover a terrorist plot.
Right. But it's all part of the plan.
Okay.
They need to blend in, gather intel, and hopefully get closer to Bayar.
Okay.
And speaking of Bayar,
Yes.
that's where things take a rather dramatic turn.
Oh, what happens?
Con and Sophie attend this high society party, hoping to spot Bayar and gather intel on his connections.
Okay.
Sophie, dressed to the nines, feeling totally out of her element, manages to spot him across the room.
Oh, wow.
But Bayar, sensing that he's being watched, quickly disappears.
It sounds like a classic spy movie scene.
It really does.
The elegant party, the surreptitious glances, the sudden realization that you've been made.
Right.
What happens next?
Con, realizing their cover is blown, decides to follow Bayar.
Okay.
They leave the party, they tail his car as it wheezes through the bustling streets of Istanbul.
Oh, wow.
It's a tense chase, with Con and Sophie trying to keep up while remaining undetected. The chase culminates in this secluded area.
Okay.
On the waterfront, where they witness something shocking, Bayar is killed right before their eyes.
Killed. So their main lead is gone.
He is.
That must be a major setback.
It is. But even though Bayar is dead, the danger isn't over.
Oh, no.
In fact, things are about to escalate in a way that neither Con nor Sophie could have anticipated.
Now I'm really intrigued.
Oh, yeah?
What happens next?
Welcome back, everyone. When we left off, Con and Sophie had just witnessed the murder of their main lead, Bayar.
Right.
Which really kind of plunges them deeper into the mystery, leaving them with more questions than answers.
Totally. And it really underscores the dangerous reality of the world Con inhabits.
Right.
And remember, Sophie is still an outsider.
Yes.
Very much an outsider in this world.
Definitely.
I can only imagine, like, what must be going through her mind at this point.
Yeah.
She's gone from deciphering ancient texts in her quiet office to witnessing a murder on the streets of Istanbul.
Yeah, talk about culture shock.
It's a jarring shift in perspective.
It is.
And this jarring shift is only amplified by what happens next.
Okay.
Back at the hotel, while Khan's out trying to piece together who killed Bayar and why Sophie receives this chilling email.
What's in the email?
Yeah, is it another code? Not exactly.
Okay.
It's a series of photos.
Okay.
Seemingly innocent at first glance, but one photo in particular
Yes.
sends shivers down Sophie's spine.
Oh, gosh.
It's a photo of a place she recognizes.
Okay.
A place that holds sinister significance. So it's a veiled threat.
Right.
Like, they're not explicitly saying, we're going to hurt you.
Yeah.
But they're sending a clear message.
Yeah.
Like, we know who you are.
Right.
We know where you are. And we can reach you.
Exactly. And it's this chilling realization that propels the story in a whole new direction.
Oh, wow.
Sophie is no longer just a code breaker.
Right.
She's become the target.
It's like a classic thriller trope.
Yeah.
Turning the expert into the victim.
Right.
It raises the stakes and adds that layer of personal danger to the narrative.
And it also forces Sophie to confront her own vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
She's always been confident in her intellectual abilities.
Right.
But now she's facing a threat that can't be solved with logic or algorithms.
It's a reminder that even the most brilliant minds can be vulnerable when they're faced with that raw physical danger.
Exactly. And unfortunately for Sophie,
Yeah.
that danger becomes all too real.
Oh, no.
Remember how we talked about those luxurious accommodations that Con and Sophie were enjoying?
Yeah.
Well, that sense of security is shattered when Sophie is kidnapped.
Kidnapped.
Yes.
So she's gone from code breaker to captive?
No.
That's terrifying.
It is. And what makes it even more chilling is the way that it happens.
Okay.
There's no forced entry. No struggle.
Right.
Just a quiet, efficient abduction.
Wow.
That leaves no trace.
It really suggests a level of sophistication
Yes.
and planning that's truly unsettling. Whoever took Sophie knew exactly what they were doing and how to avoid detection.
And this is where we're introduced to the mastermind behind the operation. A shadowy figure known only as Cypher.
Cypher.
Yeah.
It's the perfect name for a villain who operates in the world of codes and secrets.
Cypher is ruthless, elusive, and always seems to be one step ahead.
So what does Cypher even want with Sophie?
Right.
Is it just about the codes?
Yeah.
Or is there something more?
That's the big question, and it's a question that Con is desperately trying to answer. As he launches into a frantic search for Sophie.
And his search leads him to that heart-wrenching phone call we discussed earlier.
Right. Remember, Sophie is forced to make this scripted call to Con. But she cleverly uses code words to hint at her location.
It was a brilliant display of her quick thinking and ingenuity faced with this seemingly impossible situation. She finds a way to communicate, to reach out for help, without alerting her captors.
And those code words weren't random. She chose them carefully. Knowing that Con would understand their significance, nom nom time hinted at a Lebanese restaurant. And wave by suggested she was somewhere near the waterfront.
Wow, so she's like using her cryptography skills in a whole new way.
Exactly.
Turning everyday language into a secret code.
It's credible.
This is a great example of how cryptography isn't just about complex algorithms. It's about using your knowledge to communicate securely in any situation.
I know. Can you imagine? The mental agility?
Oh my gosh.
She needed to think under that pressure.
Absolutely.
And while Sophie is trying to get a message to Con,
he's
on the other end of the line, frantically trying to decode her words.
Oh, wow.
It's a race against time.
Right.
With Sophie's life hanging in the balance.
So does Con understand her coded message?
Yes.
Okay, good.
But it's not a straightforward process. Remember, he's working with a team of battle-hardened SEALs. Guys who are used to direct orders and clear objectives. Trying to decipher subtle hints and coded messages. Is not exactly their forte.
It must have been a clash of worlds.
It was.
With Sophie's academic approach to problem solving, bumping up against the SEAL team's more direct, action-oriented style.
It totally was. There were definitely some eye rolls.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And skeptical looks when Con started talking about nom nom time and Lebanese restaurants.
But Con, being the sharp guy that he is, starts connecting the dots. He remembers their earlier conversations about code words. And he trusts Sophie's intelligence. He knows she wouldn't just blurt out her location. Not with Cypher listening.
Exactly.
He pieces together those clues.
The
Lebanese food, waved by. The memory of their car chase ending near the waterfront. And he zeroes in on a location. A seemingly abandoned auto shop. Just down the street from that Lebanese restaurant on the Istanbul waterfront.
It's a brilliant moment of deduction. Con realizes that Cypher is using the restaurant as a distraction, a way to throw them off the scent. While hiding Sophie in plain sight.
It's a clever tactic.
It is.
And for a moment, it seems like it might work. But Con is not easily fooled.
No, he isn't.
He trusts his instincts, and he believes in Sophie's ability to guide him to her.
Exactly.
So they're on their way to the auto shop, hoping to find Sophie. What happens when they arrive? Welcome back, everyone.
It's the moment of truth.
Yeah.
Con and his team have pinpointed Sophie's location.
Okay.
The seemingly abandoned auto shop on the Istanbul waterfront. But remember, they're dealing with Cypher.
Right.
A mastermind who is always a step ahead.
This is where the tension really ratchets up.
Yes.
It's a classic raid scenario. The elite team going in.
Right.
The unknown dangers lurking inside, and the clock ticking to save the victim.
And let's not forget, this isn't just another mission for Con. His feelings for Sophie have grown, and the thought of her being hurt
Oh, God.
Of losing her.
Okay.
As a whole new layer of emotional intensity.
Definitely.
To this rescue attempt.
It's that conflict between duty and personal feelings that makes this story so compelling.
Right.
Con's trained to compartmentalize, to focus on the mission, but how can he ignore the fact that the woman he cares about is in danger?
It's a struggle he'll have to confront throughout the rest of the story.
Okay.
But for now, let's focus on the immediate situation.
Yeah.
Con and his team breach the auto shop, weapons drawn.
Wow.
Moving with precision and expertise.
Okay.
You would expect that from a top-tier SEAL team.
And what do they find?
They do find her.
Okay.
But it's a bittersweet reunion.
Oh.
Sophie's tied up, clearly traumatized.
Yeah.
And she sustained a head injury.
Oh, no.
During her captivity.
Gosh, I bet Con is just so relieved
to
see her alive.
But his anger at seeing her hurt. His need to protect her.
Right.
It's palpable.
It must be a whirlwind of emotions.
It is.
Totally.
Relief, fear, anger,
right,
and a surge of all those unspoken feelings that they've been trying to suppress.
It's a powerful moment.
Yeah.
And it really highlights the depth of their connection. But there's no time for these emotional outpourings.
Right.
They need to get Sophie to safety.
Yeah.
Get her medical attention and figure out who Cypher is and what he wants.
But Cypher, true to his name, remains elusive.
He does.
There's no sign of him at the auto shop. No clues to his identity.
No.
Just the lingering presence of his threat.
It's frustrating, isn't it? They've rescued Sophie, but the mastermind behind her ordeal is still out there.
Right.
Pulling the strings, a ghost in the machine.
It adds to the sense of unease.
Yes.
Of unfinished business. Cypher becomes this looming threat.
Totally.
A reminder.
Right.
That the danger is far from over.
And that danger takes on a whole new form.
Okay.
When Con and his team return to their safe house.
Right.
Remember, Con had offered Sophie a job, a chance to use her skills in a more active way.
Right.
But she initially declined.
Yes, she was hesitant.
Yeah.
Unsure if she could handle the weight, the emotional weight of Con's world.
She was still an outsider looking in.
Yeah.
Trying to reconcile her academic life with the harsh realities of covert operations.
But her kidnapping changes everything.
It does.
It forces her to confront those dangers that Con faces every day. And it awakens a fierce determination within her.
She realizes she can't just sit on the sidelines.
Right.
Not when lives are at stake.
Yeah.
Not when the man she cares about is putting himself in harm's way.
It's a pivotal moment for her character.
Totally. She's stepping out of her comfort zone, embracing the uncertainty, and choosing to fight alongside Con.
And that fight becomes even more personal when Sophie, while waiting for Con to return from a mission, receives a new set of cryptic photos.
More photos?
Yes.
From Cypher?
No, these photos are different.
Okay.
They're not a threat directed at Sophie.
Right.
They're intel, pieces of a puzzle that point to a much larger, more dangerous plot.
Intriguing.
They reveal a plot involving a military base.
Okay.
Fort Leonard Woods. The very same base that Sophie had identified in the original cryptogram.
Wow.
The one that led them to Turkey in the first place.
So it all comes full circle.
Exactly.
The initial code, the trip to Istanbul, the kidnapping, it was all connected to this planned attack on Fort Leonard Woods.
And Sophie, piecing together the clues from the photos and her own knowledge of the original cryptogram, realizes that this attack is imminent.
Oh, gosh.
She has to warn Con.
Okay.
But he's off the grid.
Right.
On a mission. Unreachable.
This is where the tension really peaks.
I know.
It's that classic race against time scenario.
Yes.
But with an added layer of dramatic irony.
Right.
Con is heading into danger. Completely unaware.
It's excruciating, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want to scream at the pages, just talk to each other.
I know.
But that's the brilliance of the storytelling.
Right.
It keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
Wondering if they'll connect in time. If they can prevent the attack.
So what does Sophie do?
She takes action.
Okay.
Remembering a conversation she had with Con about a secure channel.
Oh.
A way to reach his team in an emergency.
Ah, so he did give her a lifeline.
He did.
A way to break through the secrecy.
Right.
If needed.
But he was reluctant.
Okay.
Still trying to shield her from the darker aspects of his world. But Sophie, armed with this knowledge, and fueled by her determination to save Con and prevent the attack, uses the secure channel to contact his team.
And did she get through?
She does.
Okay, good.
And the message couldn't have come at a more crucial moment.
Oh, wow.
Con and his team are in the midst of this fierce firefight.
Oh, my God.
At the docks.
Okay.
A trap set by those rivals.
Oh, no.
The ones with the mysterious tattoos. Who've been this constant thorn in their side.
So not only is there a potential attack on Fort Leonard Woods, but Con is also facing this immediate danger.
Yes.
Caught in a deadly ambush.
It's a multi-layered threat.
Wow.
And it highlights the complexity of the world. Con inhabits.
Okay.
But thanks to Sophie's message, Con and his team are able to turn the tables.
Wow.
On their rivals and escape the ambush.
Good.
Shaken, but determined to stop the attack on Fort Leonard Woods.
It's a turning point.
It is.
In the story, Sophie's knowledge, her willingness to step into Con's world, has saved lives. She's proven her worth not just as a code breaker, but as a valuable member of the team.
And Con, realizing the depth of her courage and the strength of her feelings for him, finally lets go of his need to protect her.
Okay.
He sees her as an equal, a partner, someone he can trust with his life and his heart.
So they managed to prevent the attack?
They do.
Okay.
On Fort Leonard Woods. It's a thrilling climax.
Oh, okay.
A race against time that involves helicopter chases.
Wow.
Explosions.
Yeah.
And a final confrontation with Cypher that reveals his true motives and the personal vendetta that has been driving him.
It sounds like an action-packed ending.
It is.
That ties up all the loose ends.
Right.
But what about Con and Sophie?
Yeah.
What happens to their relationship?
Well, their near-death experiences, the shared danger and adrenaline rush have solidified their feelings for each other.
Yeah.
Con realizes he can't imagine his life without Sophie.
Oh.
And asks her to stay with him. To be a part of his world. Not as this protected outsider. But as an equal partner.
And what does Sophie say?
She says yes.
Oh.
It's a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
A testament to the power of love. And the realization that true connection can flourish. Even in the most unlikely of circumstances.
Absolutely.
They move into the safe house together.
Okay.
Surrounded by Con's team. Who have become like family to them.
It's a heartwarming ending.
It is.
To a story that's full of twists and turns, danger and intrigue, and ultimately the triumph of love and trust.
It's a story that lingers in your mind.
Yeah.
Long after you finish reading it. It makes you think about the choices we make, the risks we're willing to take for the ones we love.
Right.
And the power of human connection to overcome even the most daunting obstacles.
It's a reminder that even in a world filled with secrets and danger, hope and love can prevail.
And on that note, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
What resonated with you the most in Operation Heartbeat? Did you have a favorite moment? Or a favorite character?
Yeah, let us know.
Share your insights in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of captivating stories and thought-provoking ideas. Thanks for joining us.